Welcome, listeners, to Embracing Power and Potential, your go-to podcast where we travel through the realms of personal growth, mindset mastery, and fear-conquering strategies to help achieve your greatest desires. I'm your host, Portia, and I'm thrilled to be your guide on this transformative experience. If you're ready to unleash your authentic power and elevate your life, you're in the right place. Join me and our special guests as we embark on conversations that will broaden your horizons and enrich your journey. So, sit back and immerse yourself in these unmatched discussions. It's time to expand your mind and your life. Good morning, my loves, or hello or good afternoon from whenever time that you are listening. Today I wanted to talk about a topic that is quite relevant for me at the moment and just something that I am working through. So I feel like other people will be able to relate to this, and it is the topic of change and the struggle that can come with that. When you're moving through identity shifts, moving from an older version of yourself into a new version, breaking old habits down and building up a completely new lifestyle, I guess, is something that I am going through at the moment. I would say I'm definitely having like another transformation from a couple of years ago when I started this personal development journey. I definitely changed so much as a person back then, and now I'm feeling this another level of evolving, I guess, where we're always growing and we're always changing, but sometimes I do believe we have seasons of growth and then we have seasons of rest. Sorry, I don't know if you can hear that plane. It's like must be right on top of me because it is so loud and we never really have planes flying over. So maybe we can take that as a little confirmation, I guess, that maybe you too are on a journey and are moving and leveling up to your next level. So congratulations if you are and if you feel that. So it probably sounds silly because you'd think that on a personal transformation journey, change is what it is all about, an evolution, which is true. And it is a continuous road, but implementing change in the midst of chaos when life is just lifing can be challenging. And I guess one of the main factors of changing my current circumstances and changing my old identity to embody a new, happier and healthier version of myself in the environment to which I am confined in. Environment can be a crucial thing to changing. It's all the influence that is around you, the distractions even, and just the energy that environment holds. This can impact how you live and the habits that you choose to make, the people that you surround yourself with, but it doesn't necessarily have to. What I have learned coming from a chaotic home, to say the least, is consciously making choices to remove yourself when you feel out of alignment with the new version of yourself that you are stepping into. And it's fucking hard, honestly. It can be hard. And it's something that I am constantly working through. Not saying that my household is necessarily unhealthy or toxic, but sometimes some of the things just don't align with my new identity because I don't want to be that same old version of myself that did have unhealthy habits and made some shitty choices, I guess. And I'm not blaming my environment. I am my own person, and we all make our own choices at the end of the day. But it's definitely an influence, and yeah, something that I'm just like navigating at this point. And it's leaving what's familiar. Even if it doesn't feel good, it's comfortable. And we as human beings love familiarity. Always struggle to say that. And we are wired, literally, like our brains are wired to keep comfortable because the brain and the mind knows that as safe, as the familiar and comfortable places, the people that we surround ourselves, the old circles, or, even though they may not be the healthiest or for our highest good, it's what we know. So our mind is always looking for something that is familiar and something that is comfortable to us because that is safe. So this is something that we have to unlearn when we are on this journey of evolving and changing and morphing, so to say the least, into a higher version of ourselves, to step into a higher timeline. Because as I've talked about in previous episodes, there are different versions of us on different timelines in life. Because time is linear, it's not really real. And I know you probably think, what is she talking about now? But that is definitely a conversation for a different day. But we can quantum leap timelines and versions of ourselves by simply embodying and matching the vibrations and the frequency of that new level self. I was going on a bit of a tangent then, but what I was saying is us as humans know what is familiar to be safe. So when something is new and different, we process that in our brain as a threat. And that's when things like self-sabotage and returning back to old habits come in, because subconsciously, that is our brain keeping us safe. This is why we have to consciously choose how we move through the world and support changes with the inner dialogue that we use. Be intentional with the way that you think and the way that you speak, especially when it's to yourself. And remember, we have over 60,000 thoughts a day. Our brain is always ticking over. So taking the time to actually become conscious and aware of those thoughts and those inner dialogue and what we actually say to ourselves constantly is so important to creating change and calming our nervous system in those times when we are doing something new. Because remember, our brain is going to deem that as a threat because it's something that's uncomfortable or unknown. So in those times, you can actually calm your nervous system down by reminding yourself that you are safe when moving through new experiences. And something that I say to myself is, even though this is foreign or unfamiliar, this is for our higher self and we are safe. And the more that you do new things, or the more you do things differently, that is for your highest good, the more your mind and your body will become comfortable with these changes, which then can lead to more risk taking, more bold moves that are aligned with your higher self. And it builds that trust within yourself. And I've noticed this myself, even just on my own business journey of creating a coaching business and having more of an online presence and coming on and just speaking to the camera. That was so foreign to me and something that I would literally never have done a couple of years ago, ever. Like, that just scared the shit out of me. But now, the more that I'm doing it every single day, the more I'm becoming comfortable with it, and it's becoming a part of my new reality and my new identity. So when I do pick up the camera and start talking, my body doesn't freak out and self-sabotage and procrastinate. It just gets it done. And it actually feels good about it. And now I'm becoming more comfortable all the time talking on the camera. People are going to start getting sick of me. No, but yeah, it's just something that I've been navigating, and I've noticed that growth within myself. So it's just a reminder for you that the more that you keep doing new things, the more your mind, your body, and your soul will align with it as well, and it will become easier. Ever feel like you're meant for more, but something keeps holding you back? Maybe you've read the books, set the goals, but deep down, doubt still creeps in. It's not just about working harder, it's about rewriting your mindset for success. I help ambitious young people break past limiting beliefs, step into their power, and create the life they know they are meant for. If you're ready to stop playing small and start living big, book in your free discovery call with me today. My website will be linked in the show notes, or you can find me in my Instagram bio. Embracing Power and Potential Coaching Services. A vision to empower 10,000 young people to create a life they truly desire. Now, a very important factor, if not the most important, is self-discipline. When it comes to change, self-discipline is the highest form of self-love. When you are disciplined, you are showing the universe that you are committed to this new version of yourself. Because sometimes the world perceives discipline as sacrifice, missing out on things, when in reality, that is you remembering who you said you wanted to show up as. You're not depriving yourself, you're respecting your future self. Every time that you tell yourself that you are going to do something and then you don't follow through, you break that trust within yourself. And it's about those promises that you keep to yourself when no one is watching. This builds integrity. And discipline just becomes a love language for your future. When we are making these changes and shifting our identity and moving through life and evolving, discipline is what keeps these changes being your new reality. When we fall into cycles of old habits or those old stories that we repeat in our head, we must remind ourselves of our why. Because navigating change through the chaos of life, it's a fucking lot. So bringing yourself back and reminding yourself of your why, to live beyond a mediocre life, or to break free of toxic generational cycles, or whatever it may be for you, when you are evolving, your why can ground you every time those little trickles of doubt or procrastination come in. Just literally remind yourself why. Why are you doing this inner work? Why do you want to change? What is it about your current reality that doesn't align anymore with the version of yourself that you want to become? And change can also be scary, I know, because it means that everything that you once knew as your life will be broken down and swept away, pretty much. But this makes space in your life for new things to come in. This is old relationships, those old friendships, beliefs, and everything that made up your identity has to come crumbling down because you want to build your new life on foundations that are aligned with your new values, your new core beliefs, with the person that you are becoming. Because if we keep these old habits and anything from our old life, well, I mean, not anything, some things will stay the same, but majority of the factors that made up your old identity will eventually fade away. Even if it's not your own doing, you will notice as you start to shift and move into this new timeline, things will start to just naturally fall off. And that's the universe helping you and co-creating this new life with you. So this is because if you are moving into a new version of yourself, but you've still got these old friends that party or do dumb shit or, just don't align with who you are now, then your old self is going to just contradict your new self. And it's not going to feel good energetically. And then you'll be in this weird energy. But it's like a process as well, because you have to move through this weird energy to feel safe in this new version. However, the more you embody this new person, the more things will start to come into your life that align with that version of yourself. For example, I have been on a journey, especially in the last year, of moving back to my hometown from Melbourne, where I was living, literally on my own. Well, I had my ex-partner, but I was still basically on my own. I had no family, no friends, but the best part was I had no external influence. So I created a whole new version of myself, and it's still evolved and grown, and it has changed even from when I first got back to Melbourne to now. I've evolved so much. But where I was going with this is the friendships that I had before I left don't align with the person that I was when I got back. So naturally they did fall off. Some people literally have ghosted me and not replied even when I've reached out to see how they are. And other people have just gone on different paths in life that, don't align. We lose contact. There has been, over this journey, some friendships in my life that don't align with who I am now, and that are still in my 3D reality, in my circle, not so much my immediate circle, but they are still in my life. And I've just had to really navigate through this and, I guess, distance myself. And it doesn't mean that you have to completely cut people off and be like, oh, no, you can't be in my life, because unless they actually do something that disrespects your boundaries or disrespects you in any way, and you feel that need to actually cut them out of your life in a respectful way, then go ahead and do that. Protect your peace. However, if there is these friendships that, you love still, love them from a distance, or have a conversation with them and just be like, look, I'm sort of on this journey in my life and I'm trying to make space for things that are aligned. Doesn't mean I love you any less, but I'm just spending my time focusing on other things or finding friendships that align to me. And that's if you actually feel like you have to have an explanation or have this conversation, which is not usually the case. Usually people do just naturally fall off your radar. But it has made space in my case, and I know that this will happen in yours if this is something that aligns, that you can resonate with, is it actually does create space in your life. And old friends started reaching out to me that I haven't seen for years, that are on the same sort of journey as me, self-development, and in their peaceful era. and it's just popped off. Like we've never lost contact. So when you do make this space in your life for change, the universe will go, okay, she's ready, and will conspire in your favor to make these things happen, these opportunities or meetups happen. You might randomly see someone in the street or at a shop. In my case, I was actually invited to a surprise birthday party that she had no clue about, and I hadn't seen her for like over 5 years. And when we seen each other, like, fuck, we are so aligned now. So yeah, just a little bit of, I guess, inspiration that if you are in the thick of it, which this has been like a long year journey of not really having any friends, feeling like an outsider, and it can get lonely, but move through it, keep working through it, keep embodying the person that you want to be, and I promise you that your aligned people will attract to you effortlessly, like it did for me. But you have to make that space in your life, because you can't expect to move into your new life while hanging on to bits of your old life, because it's contradicting. It's weird energy. It's unsure energy for the universe to feel like you're not ready yet for this next level. So change can be hard. And if you can't change your environment, take a look inward and change your own energy. Move yourself away from any situations that disrupt your peace, and keep your energy in check when you're moving through this, because remember, change isn't always easy, but it's so fucking necessary to live a life that you truly deserve. I love you so much, and I hope that you got something out of this episode. I'm going to leave it there for today. But yeah, that's just something that I've been going through, and I hope that if anyone else is starting their own journey or going through it, some of this might just help you and know that you aren't alone on this. And please feel free to DM me or message me if this does resonate, as I would love to connect more with my audience. And if you could, please leave a review, a comment, or a like. That would be greatly appreciated. And I'm also going to be giving out prizes for people that do leave a review. And I'll upload this more in my Instagram story. But if you are interested, reach out and I will personally let you know what the prize is going to be and how to get it. Love you so much, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.